Psalm 31:2 reads, "Turn your ear to me, come quickly to my rescue, be my rock of refuge, a strong fortress to save me." This verse is a prayer for deliverance and protection, expressing a plea for God's immediate help and refuge in a time of trouble. The imagery of a rock and fortress emphasizes God's strength and ability to provide a safe haven. Turn your ear to me, come quickly to my rescue. This is a plea for God to hear the speaker's prayer and respond with swift action. It highlights the urgency of the situation and the need for immediate help. Be my rock of refuge. The rock of refuge is a metaphor for God's strength and stability. Rocks were often used as places of protection in ancient times, providing a safe haven from enemies or harsh weather. This imagery emphasizes God's reliability and ability to provide safety and security. A strong fortress to save me. This further emphasizes the protective nature of God. A fortress is a strong and impenetrable structure, suggesting that God can shield the speaker from harm and danger. In essence, Psalm 31:2 is a prayer for God's immediate and powerful intervention in a time of need, highlighting his role as a strong and reliable refuge. In the vast collection of prayers and songs that make up the book of Psalms, there's this beautiful verse that speaks straight to the heart. Psalm 31 verse 2 carries a powerful message. Be my rock of refuge, a strong fortress to save me. Isn't it amazing how these ancient words still resonate so deeply with us today? When life gets overwhelming, when we're searching for stability in an unstable world, this verse reminds us that we can seek shelter in something greater than ourselves. Just like a fortress provided protection in ancient times, this spiritual refuge offers us strength and security in our modern struggles. It's a timeless plea for protection, a prayer that's been whispered through centuries and still brings comfort to countless people today. In Psalm 31:2, David is urgently calling out to God for help. When he asked God to turn your ear to me, he is seeking God's full attention, wanting assurance that God hears his cry. Rescue me quickly when I cry out to you. At the sound of my prayer, may your ear be turned to me. Be my strong shelter and hiding place on high. Psalm 31 is a prayer of David, expressing his trust in God during a time of distress and persecution. He seeks refuge and deliverance from his enemies, acknowledging God as his rock and fortress. The psalm also reflects David's confidence in God's faithfulness and his commitment to God's guidance. It concludes with a call to courage and strength for all who trust in the Lord. Seeking refuge and deliverance, David repeatedly calls on God for protection and rescue from his enemies. Recognizing God as his refuge and stronghold, trust in God's faithfulness. Despite his distress, David expresses unwavering trust in God's righteousness and guidance, emphasizing God's role as his rock and fortress. Entrusting his life to God, David commits his spirit into God's hands, demonstrating his complete reliance on God's care and protection. Confidence in God's goodness. The psalm includes expressions of praise and confidence in God's goodness and power to deliver and bless his people. Call to courage and strength. David encourages others to be strong and brave in their hearts, trusting in the Lord. Inspiration. We cry out to the Lord when we are troubled. We ask for guidance, help, and protection because we know He is always listening. God comforts our anxious spirits and calms the brewing storm within our hearts. We can always count on our Heavenly Father to be present and prepared to help us fight any battle we encounter. God has been our refuge since the beginning. He will remain our rock of salvation until the end. Psalm 31 appears explicitly only one time, in Luke 23:46, when Jesus quotes verse 5a, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." But the entire psalm provides appropriate backdrop for Jesus' passion. The psalm is a prayer by one who suffers unjustly, and in that suffering puts complete trust in God. Psalm 31 doesn't directly describe a woman, but it's a prayer of trust in God during times of trouble, and its themes are often applied to women. The Proverbs 31 woman, on the other hand, is a detailed portrait of a virtuous, hard-working, and God-fearing woman, often seen as a model for women today. While Psalm 31 focuses on reliance on God's faithfulness, the Proverbs 31 woman exemplifies diligence, wisdom, and a life that honors God in various aspects. Here's a more detailed look. Psalm 31. Focus. A prayer of trust and refuge in God during times of distress. Themes. It highlights God's faithfulness, deliverance, and protection. Connection to women. While not explicitly about a woman, the psalm's themes of trusting God in difficulty can be applied to women facing challenges in life. Jesus himself. Follow for more. God bless.